Hello, my beautiful thinking people. Welcome back to the channel. As you know, this is the Drumph, yeah, that channel, where we discuss all things up and down Trump. So right now we're at the votes. What votes, do you ask? The votes for impeachment. Before you go any further, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Become a member. Don't miss any of the upcoming growing content that I will be delivering right here on this channel. So, let me give you the topics that we're going to discuss. The unlikely outcome, the fact that the Republicans were united. Many Republican senators admit he's guilty, but they acquitted him anyway. The Democrats defeated. Democracy all but dead. You get what you asked for. And finally, Mitt Romney, the sole hero. So, let's start with unlikely outcome. Who would have thought 7 Democrats would cross the aisle? Oh yeah, no, that's right. It was 1 Republican crossed the aisle. Only one. So let's move to the Republicans and how united they are. That's what we all thought. Then the one and only big man jumped overboard and may have just saved his reputation. Now, many Republican senators admit Drumph's guilty, but they acquitted him anyway. We all know somebody who would justify anything they do or say with half-truths and even full lies. But these guys take the cake. They're justifying the crook they all trash-talked before 2016, and some even after. They have sold their souls in an unprecedented lose-lose deal. They have 0 redeeming qualities left. But rest assured, they will start to talk in about face once Donald J Drumpf is out of the office. They'll do a full 360. And they'll be talking about how, well, my constituents, and if I didn't do the will of the people, well, the will of the people is very clear. There have been so many polls, up and down. They're not doing the will of the people. So, I won't let them off on that one. The Democrats truly defeated. According to the Drumph and his surrogates, they are totally defeated, depleted, no longer relevant. But they were wrong. They were dead wrong. The Democrats have never truly been relevant or on top. Even when they win, they act like Republicans anyway. They just do it by avoiding the actions that need doing. Now, Obama, on the other hand, single-handedly tried to implement many executive orders to change the way some things were done. Of course, he left out many of the most important things that would have guaranteed the democracy supremacy for many, many years to come. So, because he left out these very important issues and did nothing to appease them at all, the Democrats' supremacy has been lost. They had a chance. They were on top. They could have executed all kinds of fabulous legislation, which would have really shown the country that they were 100% behind them. But they didn't. And because of that, we got Drumph. Trump. Donald J Drumpf. Trump. You know who I mean. Anyways. So, democracy all but dead. For the rest of this year, it is truly all but dead. With no checks or balances on the lunatic in chief, Putin will have a heyday. Who will check Putin's power now? as he promises to interfere in all elections to get all Republicans reelected if they stand firm. And am I the only one that has figured this out yet? All you huge news agencies and pundits of all sorts and contributors and legal minds and scholars could not figure out what the plot was? I'm disappointed in you guys, because I would have expected much more from you. To not recognize that each of those Republicans were being promised as much assistance as the Drumph got in 2016? I don't know. To me, it was pretty dang obvious. But hey, I digress. So, when you get what you ask for, think about it. You guys asked for disruption, and you got disruption. When it becomes more than you can handle, it'll be too late to stop it. The error of your ways may be realized. I can always continue to hold out hope, though, that the people will rise up, take notice, and rebuke the craziness. When you asked for disruption, of course, Washington was broken. Nothing was getting done. Even when the Democrats controlled all three centers of power, they had one accomplishment. And even at that, it was a very small, partial accomplishment. But however grave, it was amazing for the people that it did actually help. But there was much more that should have been done, that should have been attached to those accomplishments. However, what can we do? We're here now. So now it's time for you all to look at what's happened. Look at what's happening. And do something about it. You look on the news and you hear how the economy of the USA is doing phenomenal. Records all the time on the Dow, etc. Why do you people not realize that that does not apply to you? It does not apply to you. You look at your paycheck and how well it's done since 2016. Have you gotten huge increases? Have you been able to get rid of your other part-time job and stick with just the one? Are you able to pay all your bills and make ends meet and have a little left over at the end? In my opinion, you've been duped. You've been totally hoodwinked, swindled by a snake oil salesman. And you continue to believe his rhetoric. The tax cuts. You don't realize the vast majority of the country got a tiny little tax cut, which is going to be taken back from them at an expiration date. But the 1%ers and the billionaires and millionaires, theirs goes on to a maxed out state at 10 years. Folks, do your research. You can't just blindly follow stupid and then make an excuse later and say, well, I didn't know. I understand that you didn't know. And a little bit of research would have helped you understand where you were heading, and you would have made different choices. I'm not a Hillary fan, so don't look at me in that way. What I am is a pragmatist. I look at things through an independent lens, one that tells me, oh my gosh, did those people ever make a mistake? I wish I could switch it around for you guys. I wish I could turn back the clock and give you guys another kick at the can. But that's not going to happen. But you do have one coming up in November. And if you don't use it appropriately, I'll be making many more fabulous videos that is going to be great for me. So please, go ahead, do your thing. So this leaves me with Mitt Romney, the sole hero. The only one Republican to stand up and vote his conscience. That was truly guided by moral spirituality. In the face of opposition from his entire party and even his own daughter. I'm sorry, That says a lot about the man. He stood up for what was right, period. That took more courage than anything else exhibited by any politician other than the amazing, true